Hello. I beg your pardon, you stupid copycat. Do you know what holiday it is? Well, why don't we play a game called Whose Holiday Is It Anyway?
Yes, we're using your head. Yes, it's not Halloween, but maybe I have to dress like this and go into your McDonald's to remind you it's St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, sometimes you need to go to other holidays to ask them what they're doing. It's like maybe I would think of myself as like maybe an orange leprechaun who has thunderbolts for shoes and who wears a leash for a belt, and he thinks about his, silver key and how sweet a silver rabbit is. Stuff like that. I like to make fun of holidays because I'm an artist and stuff. It's not real. It's fantasy. I'm just doing a comedy and stuff. Don't take it seriously. I believe in God. That's why I think of all holidays, because I believe in God that much, okay? Come on, don't be silly. Anyways, this is a white book, or a white journal. Well, actually, I lied. It's actually like really a photo album. Yeah, and there's photos here that, my photos like 20 years ago were okay, but maybe only one was kind of decent. I don't really care about it, but at least it was interesting. And I'll maybe, use bathroom supplies to improve my fashion for the all holiday house by using stuff like these, like, a silver metal comb and an orange soap dispenser. And it was interesting because in California, in a lot of gas stations, there was a severe shortage of soap in some restrooms, and even the managers were not really happy to be there, especially when it was, unfortunately, COVID. And I felt bad for them, and I paid them a lot of money just to be nice to them. Like, I felt like I had to pay for their soap. Like, they're that desperate. Anyways, maybe there would be a golden bag like this that you can find, and maybe in this golden bag you could pull out Cupid's pen. Well, that's confusing because then I don't know if it's a crayon or a pen. Okay, so is that for a coloring book or for homework? Okay, that's a little weird. But anyways, whose holiday is it anyway? You'll have to use your imagination. Don't take it seriously. This is like fashion design. I'm like a funny mascot. And in my house, I actually decorate the inside of my house with all decorations of all Christian holidays, just to look at the holiday signs and ask myself, what does this mean? Like I see these, holidays here, but what do they mean? Like, why do they look like what they do? Like, why is there this? And why is there this? And let me give you an example. Like, why is there this? Which is spicy gummy worms. And I thought these were pretty good. It just needed to be more dusty and smooth. But at least it was good. And then, there's something like this where it's like, I did this years ago in Sacramento just to kind of do something when I was not doing any stressful homework in Sacramento. And I was really trying hard to get a degree there, and it was hard. And eventually I realized years later it was just impossible and I had to quit. Yeah. So, I made this and it seems interesting, but now when I look at it, I'm like, now I do not remember what this is anymore. So I don't know, if this came from, a Barbie thing or, a Bratz thing or a Monsters thing. I have no idea. I was, in a My Little Pony club, and I was coloring this, I was like, and now it's like, I see it, and I'm like, there's even my name here, and I'm like, what is this? Now I don't even remember what it is anymore. And this is how, art from the past becomes, a myth. Art can become a myth if people do not really remember how the art was made. Always remember that. And then sometimes people will think, something is scary when it really shouldn't be scary. So maybe for some conservatives, maybe something like this could seem a little scary because it's pink. And this is about a donation for the fight against cancer or breast cancer or something. And I look at it and I'm like, well, okay, I definitely know I cannot use this everywhere because some places are too sad and, lonely to really be nice when they see something like this. Yeah, you gotta know when to switch clothes when you're in the wrong holiday world. Yeah, definitely remember that. You cannot wear the same clothes everywhere. If you do that, I imagine if you put like a green leprechaun against an orange leprechaun like me, he would probably argue with me a lot. Like, why are you wearing that? That is not green, you silly pussycat. And I would tell him, you stupid you stupid copycat. You always wear green and you never wear orange. What's wrong with you? Yes, silly stuff like that. And maybe for my Western fashion, after a long hike in Mojave, I will dust my cowboy hat by using this feather duster and doing this. And I have to do this because nothing else works. I dust my cowboy hat with a dust thing. And this is most useful for this cowboy hat. So this is like a cowboy hat duster. So unofficially, at least. And I'm like a costume designer and all, but you see that, and I like to just blog and be imaginative about stuff. It's not official. Don't take it too seriously. If you disagree, that's okay. In fact, let me show you something that at first I thought was really disagreeable, but then I was like, actually, it's even more agreeable. Let me show you an example. This is a beautiful piece I got from Las Vegas when I was after that, in which I was at the store and I was talking to a very kind and honest store clerk, a woman who was smoking, and she knew her smoking was kind of a bad habit and she needed to quit smoking. And I was like, okay, I respect that. At least you're kind and you do not judge me. Okay. And so, and this is interesting. I got this from the store, and when I tried to hang it up, this is funny. The hook had glue on it, and when I put it up, it fell, and now it looks like this. It looks like a moon that is missing a broken fingertip. That is interesting. Now I look at this and I'm like, does that mean that if you hang up the moon can shatter if you whirl around the holidays into another universe? That would be an interesting art idea, like DeviantArt idea. And then, there would be other things that I would see, such as, Choplifter for the Atari 5200, which is one of my video games that I collect. And this is, I'm just, showing you, my hobby and stuff and talking about it. And also giving criticism, reviewing this stuff. It's not just to show stuff. It's also to give good feedback about this stuff. This is Choplifter, and it's still sealed. But I look at the top and I'm like, that's very interesting. I wonder what this Atari 50 game is. Very interesting. And I wonder if it's if it looks more beautiful when it's on the outside, or if it looks more beautiful on the inside. I always find that interesting. And if I can poke you in the nose a little bit, just in case you're not paying attention, poke you in the nose with this magic wand. Okay, this is my magic wand for St. Patrick's Halloween, whatever. Yeah, and in case you disagree with me, let me introduce you to a friend of mine to cheer you up. See, this is my friend, no one. And that may be you. Boo! Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, right. You're probably going to McDonald's and you probably stopped noticing St. Patrick's Day, and that is bad. I mean, I liked decorations and McDonald's in California when I saw them, and not every location has decorations, but there were locations that did not have decorations, but they looked even more sharper and more faithful and Western, with just that sharp and wild Western sort of modern city gambling confidence thing, like in Las Vegas. And I visited some nice hotels that were actually in a lot of ways more like Halloween without the Halloween decorations, that kind of thing. And and in case you are thinking about me twice, let me throw a fuzzy snowball at you. Ow! Did that hurt? Come on. This is a video. Lighten up. And okay, maybe I would, I'll go to a gas station, buy something like, beef jerky or something, and I would just like taste it and be like, So the act of jerking is like, maybe a form of testing taste, where it's like you're wondering if this tastes good, and thus is the jerky thing. And oh, please, I watched you guys in so many parts of California. This is annoying to me. You were ignoring jerky over and over and over, even when there were nice discounts. I mean, I was like, I don't think you always have a budget problem. I think you whine about money and you just hesitate about buying things that you're not familiar with. Yeah, that's a kind of pseudo republicanism. That's fake. Yeah, that's not real. And Democrats at times get into that too. And as evidence, maybe 15 or 20 years ago, I was like a Republican for like 5 or 6 years, and then I switched parties because I was more like Ronald Reagan in a lot of ways. And oh, by the way, with Ronald Reagan, if you told him at every moment that no matter how much you vote for him, that you believe in him, I think if you told Ronald Reagan like that in real life, he'd be like, you do not know me. I know you're a conservative who makes a blog on YouTube or video. I know you really like Ronald Reagan or like Donald Trump or something a lot, but if you're excessively using like information that no one understands, I'm just going to shake your head and say, come on. I may feel like Ronald Reagan. I might just say, gosh, shut up. If you really disagree, just disagree. Don't pretend to agree. That's fake politics. Anyways, maybe, for interest in whose holiday is it anyway, maybe I would take this sign and fill in here what the holiday is with the colors that I think best represent the holiday. But the problem is, this is interesting. Do we represent the holiday better with the name of the holiday here on this sign, or is it better to leave the sign blank and just make the wood look very Western and good, like in California's traditional McDonald's cultures and stuff? And they still exist, although some locations of McDonald's are sad locations. They're located in like, places where it's like gas stations run out of soap, and like maybe some of the candy's gone and stuff, and that's sad. I always find that a tragedy. Now let's see. Let's look at this. Is this really anything of a holiday? Well, if a person looked at this and just did not know who the Grinch was, I would say, no, this doesn't really look like anything that belongs to a holiday. This looks like something that is missing a name even when the credit was done. It's kind of a nameless credit thing. Yeah, so this needs a little bit more decoration. Even this is technically Christmas. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like a fashion designer in that sense. And then it's like, let's take this. Colors of kindness. Colors of kindness. And I like to be kind. Okay, now let's ask this question. If I put these colors on more of my clothes right now, would I be more kind? Maybe, maybe not. Colors can irritate some people. Some people like black and white movies. Especially if it's the kind of black-white movies that are very romantic and dramatic and stuff like Casablanca and Citizen Kane and stuff like that. Yeah. You'll crack up at this. I kept a stocking for Valentine's Day, and guess what it is? It's a Valentine's Day stocking. And guess what it's... And look at this. This is it. This is a unicorn stocking. It's a unicorn stocking. And it says, believe, and it looks like a holiday thing. I like this because I could use this on more holidays instead of like the kind of stocking that is only useful on Christmas and stuff. That can make things a little more expensive. Yeah. And then it's like, maybe there's something like, these rainbow feathers. And if you know how to use these rainbow feathers for a poster art or something, it could be really great. But the art for poster art in general, from my experience, poster art will look beautiful for like 6 months, and then it gets too ugly, and then you need to throw it away. Yeah, eventually you have to just throw decorations away. Yeah, that's the circle of recycling. Yeah. And then there's like, like maybe other things around and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a little busy. And, I don't really have much anymore. I think I showed pretty much everything. And for you conservative fanatics, please do not be upset. If you're using really offensive and mean voices, get out of here, please. You're hurting my ears and you're making me deaf. And I'm kind of almost bleeding here. Stop. Especially if you know who I am. Stop. That's very bad. That means you have bad habits. And if I was to talk like, famous critic William Hazlitt in front of you, if I was to see you as a conservative, I would say, oh, you have new ideas? Oh my God. You're a conservative? You have new ideas? Oh my God. This is what he'd say in the 1800s. He would say, oh my God, you're the devil. You look weird. You're a scarecrow, like me. You look like you do not belong anywhere. It looks like you're a hieroglyphic. And William Hazlitt would say stuff like that. Yeah, and I found that interesting. Yeah. And maybe at times, I'll look at a magazine cover like this, which is about National Geographic magazine about Martin Luther King Jr. I'll look at this cover, which is a nice, sweet cover for, like a minute, and then I put the magazine away for a week and think about it with some philosophy before reading it. And, let me take this hat off because obviously, maybe you had doubts about St. Patrick's Day, and that's okay. If you really had some doubts about St. Patrick's Day, then you probably just needed to be more creative about all of the holidays throughout the year and not just be too particular about particular ones. You kind of formed stereotypes about particular holidays. So, for example, there would be like a stereotype like that says a skeleton head is always about Halloween when it's a dead skeleton head. Well, I would say no. A dead skeleton head could also represent the Cinco de Mayo holiday, which has kind of a little bit to do with Halloween because Mexicans like to celebrate some scary skeleton parties to celebrate, the Year of the Dead. And the Year of the Dead is very much like Halloween in that sense. And as evidence, I do have a family relative who is married. He's a white American and he's married to a Mexican American. So, yeah, definitely for your conservatives. If you still want to argue with me, come on. You have already failed when I made this argument. You've failed. If you keep yelling, oh, come on, you have nothing to say. And sometimes I have a brother who's kind of like that with my art. He'll keep talking when he has nothing to say. And when there's a conservative like that, I just tell him, shut up. You're just a kid who does not know how to chew your food and you whine. Yeah, that's kind of a beer jerk kind of thing. I mean, come on. I mean, a Budweiser's not that bad. I mean, just drink it and stop whining so much, please. A Budweiser is not scary. I mean, I'll have like one tall cup and exercise a lot. Whatever. Anyways, let me wear my Orange Leprechaun cowboy hat. And this is why I am like a scarecrow. I am like an orange leprechaun. I am an orange leprechaun with thunderbolts for shoes and a leash for a belt and a silver key and a silver bunny. And I will see you later as Aloysius Zanderman. Take care.